At the end of the month, you ever wonder where all of your money went? It was there in the beginning of the month in your bank account, but then throughout the month, it just disappeared. And it's not just one month that has happened, but almost on a regular basis, it seems that your money just keeps vanishing. The reason why is because of money habits. Our money habits can make us really rich or really poor or somewhere in the middle. And most of the time, we don't even realize our own money habits. It's kind of like brushing our teeth. If we brush our teeth on a regular basis without thinking about it, our teeth are clean. But if we don't brush our teeth and that's just part of our habits, then our teeth will be rotten. And the same goes for our money habits. If we have poor money habits, then our bank account is going to be rotten, kind of like rotten teeth or something like that. So in this video, I'm gonna go over the 7 money habits that are keeping you poor that you may not even be aware of. Let's get started. So the first poor money habit is not knowing the difference between your needs and wants. So as money comes into our bank accounts on a regular basis, we have to spend that money on our needs and wants. And if we don't know the difference, then that's when our money just kind of goes out the window. But before you figure out your needs and wants, it's important to have your financial goals in place first, because these goals are what you're going to be working towards. So in terms of financial goals, do you want to get out of debt? Do you want to be rich? Do you want to save for a house? Are you looking to get a new car? Have those goals in mind first, and then it'll help you decide what your needs are and what your wants are. There's a big difference between the must-haves, good-to-haves, and not-to-haves. When you prioritize your financial goals, it's a lot easier to know where to spend your money, when to spend your money, and how to spend your money. It's okay to have a good standard of living and live a good life. The only problem is when someone starts to make more money, if they get a promotion or a raise, or if someone else in the family is starting to contribute money, then the expenses start to rise along with it. So if income increases, then spending increases, then income, then expenses, income, then expenses, that's when people find themselves in a lot of trouble, and eventually it catches up with a person. The solution is to figure out what type of lifestyle you want to live that is below your means. So if you want to live the millionaire lifestyle, but you don't have the millionaire income, then it's probably not a good idea. I know that's an extreme, but if you have a certain standard of living, if you keep it at that certain standard and keep your expenses the same, even though your income may increase, that's how you'll be able to save more money, put that money towards debt, or invest that money, and your future self will thank you for that. So regardless of how much more your income increases, if you keep your expenses the same, that's how you'll get ahead and you won't stay poor. By the way, I'm David, and if you want wise money tips to build a wealthy future, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel to watch more videos like this. Next poor money habit is paying yourself last. What most people do is when they receive a paycheck, they then use that money for their wants, then their expenses, whatever left over. What some people do is they receive a paycheck, then they pay for their expenses and needs, then they pay for their wants. What rich people do is when they receive a paycheck, they pay themselves first by either investing or putting that money into a savings account, then they pay for their expenses, then they pay for their wants. The concept of paying yourself first means that whatever money you receive, you put a portion of that money towards your savings account or investing account, then whatever money is left over from that, then you pay your rent, utilities, bills, food, whatever your needs are, then you pay for your wants. So the most important part here is to put money aside to let it grow over time, especially if you're putting it into an investing account. And if you're just starting out to pay yourself first, the amount doesn't really matter so much. Ideally, you would want to put 10 to 20% to the side, either in a savings account or in an investing account. Regardless, paying yourself first will allow you to have money aside that you may not even know about. Because if you pay yourself first and have that money go into a bank account that's separate from where your checking account is, you won't even see that money, and that money will grow and grow and grow over time. And your future self will thank you so much for that. Next poor money habit is ignoring debt. Debt is probably one of the worst things in life because it's this invisible force that holds you back from doing so many of the things you want to do in life. According to debt.org, over 42% of American households have over $2,500 in debt in 2019. The problem with debt is that the interest eats away at any chance you have of saving money, investing money, or having any money when you retire when you're older. And unfortunately, a snowball effect happens. As someone starts out with just a little bit of debt, over time the interest fees start to add up, then it becomes more debt, and more debt until it becomes unmanageable and everything is maxed out and someone has no idea what to do, what the next step is, and now they have to declare bankruptcy and they have no money for other things in life and no money later on in life. And it creates this vicious cycle of poverty that is so hard to get out of. So if you do have debt, prioritize getting rid of your debt first, then use whatever money you were putting towards debt and put that into a savings account or start investing with it. Next poor money habit is constantly upgrading. Whether you're upgrading your electronics to get the latest and best cell phone that just comes out, or get the next style of fashion of clothes or shoes or sneakers, whatever it is, if you're constantly upgrading products just so that you could get the ooh effect, you're paying way too much just for people to say ooh. A lot of people are trapped in the poverty mindset of buying things that they don't need with money that they don't have to impress people who don't care. So if you are constantly upgrading your products, I highly suggest asking yourself whether it is a want or a need, or if you're just trying to get someone to say, ooh. Because receiving that type of attention that people give you when you have the latest and greatest product is taking money out of your bank account, not putting money into your bank account, and is making you more poor over the long term. Rich people stay rich by acting like they're poor, and poor people stay poor by acting like they're rich. So acquire the wealth first, then you could use that wealth to buy all the latest and greatest products and upgrade as much as you want, but you don't put luxuries first because that will keep you poor. Next poor money habit is not tracking your money. So if you're not sure how much money is going into your bank account, how much money is going out of your bank account, what you're spending money on, then you're not going to be able to fix the problem. The solution is to know exactly how much money you have and exactly how much money you're spending on a regular basis. You could do this really easy with the app called Mint or mint.com if you want to use a desktop. And if you attach any piece of plastic, whether a credit card, debit card, bank account, you can see exactly how much money you have in your bank account and exactly where you're spending your money, what categories, if it's groceries, if it's restaurants, if you're going out to eat too much. By creating the habit of tracking your money, you'll be able to figure out if you need to put more money towards savings, more money towards certain expenses, or even save up for future items such as a house, a car, or anything like that. But it all starts with tracking your money first. Next, poor money habit is not investing. If you're not investing, then you are losing money. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy like investing in the stock market. There are some simple solutions to this. If you're keeping your money in a savings account and getting maybe at most 1% APY, which means you're getting at the end of the year 1% interest. So if you have $1,000 in your savings account at a 1% APY, that means you'll receive $10 for not doing anything with that money, which is really low. I know it sounds cool to get money while not doing anything in a savings account, but the inflation rate of the economy is around 2%. So that means whatever money you have in your bank account that's saved, you're losing 2% on that money every year. So even though you may gain 1%, you're still losing an extra percent due to the 2% inflation rate. But before you start investing, it's really important that you take care of your debt first and you have an emergency fund saved up. Just in case anything happens, you have money that you could put towards that emergency. Once you have those two things taken care of, then any leftover money, rather than letting it sit into a savings account, put it into an investing account, and then over time your money will grow and grow and grow. My favorite way to invest, super simple, really easy, is index funds. So rather than investing in one single stock, which could be kind of risky, you don't know if it's going to go up or down. With index funds or ETFs, which are exchange traded funds, very similar to index funds, it's a group of stocks in one. So if one company fails, goes bankrupt, loses all their money, the whole amount of that index fund is barely going to drop because it could have up to 500, 1,000 different companies in one. If a few companies' stock prices go down, then it won't affect the entire index fund or ETF so much. But I'll have more videos on that later on, or I'll have a link down in the description below if you want to learn more about investing. Next poor money habit is not having a budget. So the favorite type of budget that I like to recommend to people is the 50-30-20 budget. What this means is that if you get $1,000 into your bank account, for example, 50% or $500 would go towards your needs, 30% or $300 would go towards your wants, and then 20% or $200 would go towards your savings or investing or any other way that you could grow your wealth. The best way to figure out your budget is to just write down all of your expenses for the entire month, whether it's rent, utilities, food, going out to eat, whatever you're spending money on. If it's loans, student loans, mortgage, whatever it is, just write every single thing out. And once you see it, then you can figure out which category it belongs to, a need, a want, or investing savings category. And if you want to learn in more detail about the 50-30-20 budget, you could click this video right over here. It goes more in detail of how to set up that type of budget. And if you want to learn how to get started in investing, the 5 beginner tips to get started in the stock market, you could click this video down over here. Click one of those right now, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.